Hey everybody, so for this week's scraps tutorial I'm going to use this one again. I use this one for the circle shaped cards using my scraps, which has been so popular. I'll link it up here for anybody that's missed it, but that was the one I think that started the scraps series using shaped cards. So for this week's shape I'm going to use these gift tag dies, but I'm going to make them so that they can be top folding cards. There's a couple of side fold cards, but they can also be gift tags because they've got the hole still cut, so you can attach them to a gift bag, have them as a greeting card. It's entirely up to you. As with all these scraps videos, these ideas and layouts will work on any shape and size card, so you don't need these dies. It's just for inspiration to use on anything. And I think I might use these ones maybe next week because I've got a few of these larger ones. So these are the scraps that I've got left. This seems to be never ending, this one. I thought, oh yeah, I'll make a big dent, which to be fair, I kind of have, but there's still tons. So I've got 6 to show you today. So we'll start off with a kind of simple one. So in the die set, again, for anybody who's interested, you get these dies here. If you cut them together to put the little one in the middle of that one, you'll get this little ring. So it acts as your little faux hardware to go around the top there. So what I've done with these is I've cut 2 of them, and then one of them I've just scored along the top. Give yourself 3/4 of an inch, just score it at the top, fold it, and then stick just that portion to the back of this one. So you can see there you get a little top fold. It could be a side fold as well. These are great for like mini albums, or it can still be a tag, and then inside you've got your to and from. So prepare your tag if you want to do something like this, and again it's very easy to make yourself. Just cut yourself a rectangle. These are about 5 by 7, or they're in terms of height, but they will go into a 5 by 7 envelope. I then cut this one to go on top. I'm going to have it towards the bottom, and I just emboss this with my Ditzy print embossing folder. I thought that looked quite nice, which is this one here. So I think I'm going to stick that down using some foam, because I think these are going to be nice with lots of dimension. So I'll just place that one down over there. And that was a piece of scrap gold as well, so try to use scraps in everything. And then I've just got these strips. Some of them were already like this in the pack. Others I've just used other scraps and just cut them down, but they're like 1/4 inch and 3/4 inch, but again anything you have. And I just want to position these. Actually, I'm just going to stick that down before I forget, because I don't want to, I want to make sure I go around this. So I think what I'll do is just add a little bead of glue around the ring there, and then using my tweezers just lay that down. There we go. Okay, so we've got that ready, and then I just wanted to place these like so, and then I just punched this scallop punch to go over the top, lift it up on foam, and then I've just cut that to go on top. But once that's all trimmed down, and then I've got these ribbons here, I've got some baby blue twine and then some baker's twine as well, and that's going to, you know, finish it all off. I'll probably do all the ribbons last, but I think something like that. So I think I'm going to stick all of these just down using my liquid glue, but I want them to hang over the edge of that gold piece, but not over the edge of this main white tag. Okay, so that's all stuck down, and then I'm just going to cut these just at different angles, but keeping them all within the gift tag size there. Just giving them all like little flag tail ends. There we go. I think that looks really cute. But you can see how pretty that looks. And I just on a simple gift bag, that lovely tag hanging down, I think it's going to look lovely. So that's number 1. So for number 2, this is a side fold. So I just folded a piece of cardstock in half and laid the die over so that it was just hanging off the edge. Passed it through, so it was still attached then on the side, and then I cut it again and stuck that on top. So we've got a full tag on the front, but inside it will open like so. Again, you could have this as a top fold as well. So for this one, I've cut all these 1-inch circles, and I've got this one left to show here. So for this tag, I've cut all these 1-inch circles. I think in total let me just count them because I've got one. I'm going to show you how to do one of them. 3, 6, 9, 12. There's 30 altogether. 15 for the top, 15 for the bottom. 15 of the ones on the bottom you just leave as the circle, whatever print you've got. 15 that are going on top you want to fold in half, okay? And then I'm just going to add a little glue. Oh, and then just sit this on the circle. If you line up one side and just make sure that glue down the middle adheres, and then just pull up the sides again. Now if you wanted to, you could put a little bit of foam either side. So that's the kind of layout. Now if you've got a sewing machine and you like to stitch paper, then stitching right down through the center of this looks really nice. So do that before you stick this tag or whatever shape onto your card. Or you might have a hand stitcher as well, but I didn't want to get my sewing machine out. So what I thought I would do is I cut these very, very thin strips of gold card. And once I've got these all positioned and lined up, so they're going to be like something like this, I thought I would stick this gold right down through the middle and just trim it right from the top down to the bottom there. And I just think it gives it a really different kind of look. I've got the little faux hardware there, and I can still add the ribbon through as well. You don't have to do these as 1-inch circles. You know, there might be 1/2-inch circles, there might be 2-inch circles, and you just have a few of them on here. They could be squares, any shape you want. Stars I think would look really nice with this effect. So I'm going to stick these all down, so you'll see every single one has these. I think once they're all stuck down I'll be able to really kind of shape those up a little bit more. So I've just stuck that first row down, and what I think will be best to do is stick the middle one down first and make sure that the fold runs like in the center of your hole there, or the middle of the card, because not everybody's going to obviously have tag shaped ones like me, and then work your way out to each side. Okay, so I'm happy with that top row, and now I'm going to work my way down. Okay, so you would have just seen me stick all of the circles down and 2 of the strips, so I thought I'd just leave the last one in. So just don't do this if you have, you know, if you've got sensitive skin, because the glue obviously might react. But it's just a quick way to get that glue on such a very thin piece. I mean, you could cut this with double-sided sticky sheets as well, that will work. And I think I've done pretty well getting them in the middle. You know, I've been able to keep them all straight through the folds. Like so. I'm not too worried about this top one because the ribbon's going to be here, so you're not going to see. So I'm just going to snip it to about there, and then what I'll do, because I haven't stuck that one down, get a bit of glue on there, and then I should just be able to cover that. There we go, like so. And just make sure it's all secure. I just think it's really different. And then if you just go from the back and you can snip off all of those pieces, there you go. I think once the sentiment's on here, because I haven't chosen what I'm going to have on this one, and the ribbon's through the top of there, I might have the sentiment hanging down, but I think that's really unusual. It's a really striking design, and because once the light hits it and creates the shadow from these pieces, I can imagine this looking really good with butterflies. I think that would be a really fun design with butterflies. So that's number 2. So for card number 3 is really simple. I actually just used the nested shapes of the tags here and just used the papers that I had at hand. But I am going to pop it up on foam because that dimension will just add a little bit extra to it. Again, completely optional. If you want to keep this flat, then just stick these right down. So I'm just going to layer them all up on top of each other. So I've stuck all of those down, but I need to add the tag on this one, so I need to use the ribbon. I've just taken one of the sentiments that were in that kit and I've just stuck it onto a piece of gold card, gave it a thin border or frame on the sides, but then on the bottom here I've gone a bit thicker, and then I've given myself space there to add a hole and eyelet. And then I've just used this cream ribbon, and then I'm going to just tie the twine around the bottom to attach that. And then I can add a little bow. You could add little charms on here. Maybe if you've got some, I mean, this is a nautical theme, so if you had like little anchors you know, any kind of little charms that match the theme of your papers. They always look really nice. Okay, so that is card number 3. Again, it's a top fold there. What I might do is actually, because I like that when it's slightly angled, so I'm going to add, just going to use one of these little square foam pads just on the corner here. There we go. How sweet is that? Again, you can see how that all stands up, or it could even go on the side, that one, because the sentiment still works that way as well. I mean, obviously the images aren't right, so I will have to keep it that way. And then if you did want to attach that to a gift bag, just use some more of your, you know, whatever you've used, ribbon, twine, thread it through there, and then attach it around the handles of the gift bag. So that's number 3. So number 4, oh, actually this was the one to show you how to cut it as a side fold. So this is a piece of card that I've just scored in the middle and folded in half. And you just want to make sure that it's wide enough for your die. Whatever side you want to stay attached, you want to lay the die down and just have it so that it's hanging off the edge. Okay, because this is a scallop one, I need to have it like that so that you don't get any of it cutting in to the card when you open it. Like so. So that's the folded side here is on my left. And then just tack it down and run that through your machine. You might need to add an extra shim. This is 300 GSM, so you know that's like 600 GSM it's got to cut through, but it's been okay with the other one. Okay, so that's all cut. This needed an extra shim just along the bottom, but don't worry if you get any markings like I have there, because you want to cut it again and then you're going to stick that over the top. So you have that full, in my case, tag on the front, but you've got the fold there for the, you know, of the card. So I'm going to use my construction glue, cover all of this area. And I'll just line that up like so. So for this one, these are all, it doesn't matter what size, you just want to make sure that the width is wider than the card or the size that you're working with. And I just kept cutting the bottom portion of the tag. I actually don't need all of this. I'll probably end up trimming a bit off. And the idea is that I would have, I've curved them all at the ends there as well, but every scallop would be another pattern. So that one will go there. You can see why I don't need all of this. And then that one there. So I reckon they need to be about 1 inch wide, 1 inch by whatever width you need. And you just see a little bit of every design. Now I want to stop when I get to this one here. So I think one more. So I think I'm going to, oh, it's going to have to probably be that one. Stop with that one there. So it's going to be something like this. What I'm going to do is start sticking these down until I get to like here, and then I'll just show you and talk you through how I've done the rest of it. So I went to stick this one down, but it drops in ever so slightly here. I thought that was the same width, but it's not. It's just slightly comes in. So I'm going to leave it there. They're all 1 inch thick, but I think I love this. It's really tactile. Looks like a blind, fancy blind. So I'm going to hole punch. I'm going to have to hole punch because I didn't die cut the punch there. So I'm just going to use my big one here. Should be a pretty similar hole size to the die. Little glue around there. Again, once I've added the sentiment and the ribbon to that, it will look great. And I did end up having these scraps. I'm not going to throw them. The whole purpose of these scraps video is to use them, so they are all going to go back in with the rest, and you'll see them feature again. So that is number 4. So number 5 is kind of going to be like a half sunburst, I guess, and I'm going to add a little bit of gold glitter to this one. So again, I've made my top fold card here, and then I've also cut myself that same size tag in double-sided sticky sheet. So I'm going to take the backing off first. I'll have to redo the hole, but that's fine. Just going to start off at the bottom, get that all lined up, and then just roll that down. before I take the backing off, what I've done is I've cut, again, all using the scraps, I've just cut myself these different rectangles. The sizes are going to vary depending on the size of the card, but I'll tell you what I've got here. And the lengths are pretty much how they came. I didn't cut any of these down. So these must be the width of the papers in the packs. They're about 8 inches. Yeah. By 2, and that's by 1.5. This one's 2 by 6.5. And this one will be 2 by, it's like 4 3/4. And I've just cut from the top left down to the bottom right. Top left to the bottom right, top right to the bottom left, top right to the bottom left. So 2 in one way, 2 in the other. It's up to you. You could do them all the same if you want. You want to kind of work with a non-directional, because what you're going to do is end up turning them all like this. You want the points all facing down. I've done similar, I've done a lot of this on circle cards before, but I thought it would be nice, like I said, to do like a half sunburst, like a horizon or sunset. So just take the backing off. And what I want to do is I want to keep kind of, I guess, 1, 2, 3 of them free, and I'm going to cover that in glitter, and I'm going to have this sentiment kind of there, and that will cover all the points. So I'm just going to plan out my design. I think the shorter ones need to go on the outside. That's my design. So I'm going to take, again, I'll have to re-punch the hole, but if I take my Big Shot there we go. I'm going to pop this one. So I reckon about, I'm going to go here. Again, there's going to be excess from this, so I'll end up adding this into the scrap. So I don't want to go down past this here. It's all going to make sense in a moment. Like I said, these are for inspiration and more of the process, and then you can apply it to any shape. And then this one I want to butt right up so there's no sticky tape, like so. And then again this one, butt it right up, and then this one I might have to cut another one. Yeah, I might possibly have to cut another piece, or I can use the excess when I cut it off. So again, I'm kind of angling it to catch it and then flatten it all down. Okay, I'm just going to loosely trim off. I'm going to go back in with my die on this. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll just use my trimmer, cut back across again there. So I reckon this one we can go in down here. There you go, that's pretty. I want this to become as straight as possible along here. That's okay, I can live with that one. And then we'll do another blue one. So we'll do this one here. Oh, that one comes down a bit more. What I will do is probably, it's going to look really pretty. Trust the process, but I need to make that. I think what I'm going to add is a strip of some white card. Just plain white card, because I think against the gold and with that sentiment, so it's 1 inch wide, and that can hide across the whole piece there. So I'm going to bring this, I'm lining up the tops of here, and that'll be enough to secure that. Again, just trim that all down. Okay, so I'm going to keep all those scraps, don't lose that one. Now I'm going to get my gold glitter and cover that. I think I'm going to use antique gold. That looks like a good match. And you just want to dump that down all over that sticky area. And just use your finger to really push down all that glitter. So that's all the glitter down. It looks absolutely stunning. Okay, and then I'm going to take the die. You can just kind of line it up on the back there, but I just want to make sure that the bottom is all in place. I'm just going to kind of lock that in. I'm just going to wrap that around. It won't really stick to the glitter, but it's enough to hold it in the machine. Just tack that in place there. I think that's going to be enough. So I'm going to now run that through. Okay, so that's all cut, and I've just punched the hole again and added that piece. And then the sentiment, I'm just going to pop up on some foam. I'm going to position that one right through the middle there. How cute is that? Really effective. Love that gold sparkle at the bottom. Okay, so for the last card, I'm just going to add the little piece here at the top. And then for this one, I'm going to do the weave technique, which I've done on many cards. In fact, that one reminds me of one I did using circles in one of my very early scraps videos. So if I remember to share, I'll pop the video up there. So for this one, I've just got, I think these are the ones I'm going to have, yeah, these are the ones I'm going to have vertical. These are all going to be horizontal. So they're all 1/2 inch strips. The length is entirely up to you. I am going to be trimming these all down. I want to have 3 of them like this. Again, doesn't matter about this because I'm going to trim it. I'm going to have them slightly off to the left because I think the sentiment's going to be kind of like off more to the right. And then you're going to take one of your strips, and I'm going to start by going over, under, over, and then you will go the opposite. So it will be under, over, under. Again, you can move this all around. Once you've got it in place, then we'll glue it. I find it easier to just do this first. So again, over, under, over, and then the opposite. Right, so that's all in place. It's a bit easier now to manage. Again, I'm going to cut quite a lot off. I just wanted more of the plain blue, so I'll be cutting off like the detail at the end. So I'm going to have one there, let's have this one a bit shorter, and then maybe that one like so. So I'm going to just stick that one there, that one there, and then that one. Keep them nice and straight. Okay, and now I can really like move these into place. The gap in between is entirely up to you. I'm going to have about a 1/4 inch gap there. So now I'm just going to cut these all different lengths. I'm not too worried that it's a little bit crooked. Like that. Again, I'll keep all those pieces for another time. So now I'm happy with the positioning of those. So now I can just add a little glue under each one. Okay, I'm happy with that. And I'm going to flip it around and again just trim these so they're all slightly different. Okay, and then lastly the very bottom here. Okay, so that's stuck down, and now I've just popped some foam on my sentiment, and I might have it more towards the bottom like so, and then, you know, I might do a nice bow on that one. So that's number 6. So now I'm going to add the ribbons and any other little details, and I'll show you them all when I'm finished. So that's my 6 gift card tags finished. So as always, I like to go through them all and let me know in the comments which one is your favourite. So number 1, it's got that lovely embossed background, top fold, stands up really pretty, and you've got those lovely strips there showing the different papers. Number 2, this is possibly my favourite. Now, I did put my sentiment over the seagull images because the strips were going right through the centres of them anyway, so you couldn't really see them like that. So I think the sentiment works really well. So I just popped it up on double foam, so it's quite high, so it matches the height of those dimensional circles there. But I think that's beautiful, and that's a side fold. And then number 3, just got that simple layering. I think it's really effective with the foam in between the layers, and then that lovely sentiment there. The voice of the sea speaks to the soul. Then number 4, again, this is probably close first, second favourite. I just love how tactile that is. And then I've added the sentiment just at the top there, on your special day. Again, that was a side fold. And then some sparkle. Love this one. You can see all the ribbons that I've added there. Birthday celebrations. And then the last one was that woven design, and then the sentiment there, someone special. I've added the big bow there because I think it needed something else. So that's this week's cards using your scraps, so 6 gift tag shaped greeting cards, or gift tags. Put them on a nice gift bag, like I said, gift box. I think they're going to look lovely. I can probably only link the gift tags because the paper pad sold out long ago, so you probably just have to look on eBay. I will share you know, any links if I do find them. Also, I'll have some of the other scraps videos popping up. I'll have the circle shaped cards using your scraps here, and then here I'll try and find the one where I mentioned about this design and possibly this one. So have a look at those next if you want to watch something else. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed today, and as always, if you're not subscribed, please do consider subscribing, hit the notification bell, and that way you won't miss out on any future videos. See you all again soon. Bye.